Nissan Silvia. Everything you need to know. Hello and welcome back to MIA Luxury Cars. For today's video, we will be going to talk about Nissan Silvia. Everything you need to know. Let's get started. This is all there is to know about the Nissan Silvia 240SX, 200SX, and 180SX S chassis. S, which is taken from the name of the vehicle in Japan. Silvia was used by the firm to denote the evolution of their tiny rear-wheel drive automobile line. The numbers indicate the generation it belonged to. The history of the 240SX and S chassis begins in 1976 with a vehicle that no one really remembers. Nissan had a sort of little sports car called the Z, but it was getting more expensive every year. As a result, they produced the S10, which was designed to be the lighter, less expensive automobile that Nissan desired and the rest of the world needed. The first S chassis was created. It came with a 1.8-liter engine everywhere else, and it was marketed as a Silvia. American S10s, however, were badged as 200SX and sold with a larger 2-liter engine. Paul Newman had previously raced the S10, but the S110 received far more factory attention and rose to fame in a number of racing competitions. The Group B240 RS and the exclusive to Japan Super Silhouette racers were the two most well-known of these racing S110s, and they couldn't have been more dissimilar from one another. Everyone is aware of how insane Group B was while it was in use, while all-wheel drive and spectators risking everything to get closer to the vehicles. The 240 RS, Nissan's entry into the series, wasn't actually any of these. Still, in order to comply with homologation regulations, they had to produce 240 RS road cars, endowing the world's roadways with a fierce rally-bred box-flared design. The Super Silhouette racers, the other racing S10, were incredibly powerful and were made exclusively for the Japanese racing series. Their 2-liter 4-cylinder tuned turbocharged engine produced greater power than the era's Formula One cars. The business used some rather severe arrows to manage this power. Unexpectedly, the mad bososaku culture in Japan was born from this automobile and others like it, which only competed in racing for 4 years. Nissan debuted the new S12 chassis in 1984, replacing the S110 platform. Pop-up headlights, the most significant advancements in S chassis history, debuted with the S12. Seriously though, Nissan didn't start focusing on the sport aspect of their inexpensive sport coupe until the S12 generation, when they finally got their act together. Even in North America, the S12 was offered with a turbocharged engine from the very beginning. Nissan marketed the Turbo. This automobile has an S chassis, and you little dummies forgot about it. In 1987, Nissan stopped producing turbochargers for the US market and instead unveiled the new 200SX sports model. The V6 in this vehicle set it apart from other OEM S chassis vehicles. Nissan canceled the S12 in 1989 and unveiled the S13, a vehicle that solidified the S chassis into factory. The S13 was sold in America as a coupe and a liftback, and it got its name from the 2.4-liter 4-cylinder KA24 engine that was utilized in US automobiles. This engine was originally intended for trucks and would weigh down the S13 in America from the start. Despite the power plant's lack of motivation, this engine would be the only one available for the remainder of the S chassis lifespan in the US. The SR20 and the S13, each with more than 200 turbocharged horsepower, would soon be on the roads. With very little changes, this engine could easily handle 350 horsepower, making it a tuner's dream. This power, paired with the traditional S chassis characteristics of being lightweight, inexpensive, and three-wheel drive, would make the S13 a star in the emerging and popular sport of drifting. Japanese underground drift stars soon began modifying their S13s in previously unimagined ways. This would establish the basis for drift culture as we know it today. The S14 Silvia would debut in Japan in late 1993, and the rest of the globe would get it in 1994. Drifting became more simple as the car grew broader, lower, and had a longer wheelbase. There are two different non-pop-up headlight periods in styling. The S15 was released in 1999, replacing the previous Zenki cars produced for 1994 to 1996, and the more aggressive Koki automobiles from 1996 to 1996. While the rest of the world continued to receive the SR20 DET, America's X14 had to keep going with a minimally modified K24 engine. According to Nissan, women made up 75% of 240SX buyers in the United States. The S15, the last iteration of the S chassis, debuted in 1999, and it was only produced for 3 years. This automobile, which was exclusively sold in Japan, Australia, and New Zealand, was significantly smaller than the S14 and was powered by the factory's last and greased SR20 engine. Since they are banned from importing and operating on American roads until 2024, the S15 is the forbidden fruit of the model line for Americans. The drift tax is a phenomenon that affects popular S chassis models and involves a significant increase above the market value of certain vehicles. Despite the higher price, Nissan's S chassis has developed its own culture. Nissan has been urged by this same fan following to produce an S16 Silvia. The market doesn't exist, Nissan was constantly told, and the only way to appeal to enthusiasts was with stylish and modern vehicles. Recent speculations, however, suggest that Nissan may have altered their minds. Toyota has already started production of the 8-6 and is bringing back the Supra, so the competition is prepared. What have you learned about our topic? Please let me know by leaving a comment below. And if you enjoyed this video, please press the like button, turn on the notification bell, and subscribe to our channel for more videos like this. Thank you for stopping by to watch. See you in our next video.